Hello and welcome to the Women's Inspire Network show, the show where we interview the humans behind the businesses. And we're delighted to be here today in-house in Dublin. Yes, we're in the capital city and we are here talking to people who I know are making a difference in the world of business. And today we have Avril Flynn.
Hi,
hello.
Samantha, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Avril, I know you, but a lot of other people might not know you yet. I know you've gone out on your own lately, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Thanks so much, Samantha. So I'm Avril Flynn and my business is avrilflynn.com, named after myself, quite obviously. So I am a midwife, first and foremost. I'm a childbirth educator, providing childbirth and baby preparation classes for individuals and families. I also present a podcast called Motherboard.
That's right.
I present live events as well. And I started out on my own just in the last year when I came back from my own maternity leave.
Your own maternity leave, so
Yes.
you're a mum as well?
Yes, I'm a mum of one to Felix, who has just turned 1.
Oh, happy, exciting times, but also very challenging times.
Very challenging. Yeah. And I suppose that's how I came to the conclusion. I've always wanted to have my own business. I've always had a passion and a drive for making birth a more positive experience for people, and how I feel I could reach people was by educating them in a birth positive way. And after I had Felix, I decided that now was as good a time as any. And also, you know, with having young kids, it gives you, if you know you can kind of get through that, you know you can kind of do anything.
True.
So I really wanted to spread my message in that I had a brilliant birth experience. I didn't love my pregnancy all that much, so I wanted to develop a range of classes to help other parents not only enjoy their pregnancy but really feel empowered in their birth experience, but make it individualized, because you know we're all consumers. It's not a one size fits all.
Oh, for sure,
And
especially birth, giving birth.
Totally, it has to be individualized, and that's what I feel that my clients can get.
Well, that's really cool, actually. So you weren't always a midwife, though, were you?
No. I've had quite an interesting and circumnavigate career. So
I think most entrepreneurs have had that kind of thing.
Totally.
But tell me about yours.
It's about life experience, isn't it? That's where it gives you kind of experience in different things and a bit of confidence to do stuff. Yeah. So all I ever wanted to be, well, up until about 8, an actress. So, which is no great surprise, but I really wanted to be a lawyer and a barrister, and I worked incredibly hard throughout my whole school days. I would say that I have an acumen, I'm smart, but I'm not by any means a genius. Anything I do, I have to work hard at. I had really wanted this in my head that I wanted to be a barrister. I had it in my head that I was going to be the first female Chief Justice at 55. That was my goal.
You really had it planned out, like.
And then went in, got my degree, absolutely loved it. I'm from Dundalk originally, loved being up in Dublin. And then was in King's Inns. I have no experience in, none of my family were in the legal world. So I was studying at night. I was working full time as a medical administrator and doing that 5 days a week. And then suddenly, kind of halfway in, I realised, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to do this.
Oh my goodness.
And I suppose, you know yourself, when you've worked incredibly hard at something, one of thing I think as humans we're not great at is actually letting go and realising that your dreams can change. And then my mum died. Yeah. And that, I suppose, really your world shifts on its axis.
It does. Yeah.
And you realise that life is actually finite and that you have one go at your life, or as I say, you've one twirl on the roundabout. So you better make it count and do something that makes you happy. And I got the most amazing advice from my dad when I was kind of toiling in my head going, how can I have worked so hard and wanted this for so long and then not want it? And my dad said that basically you are going to spend more time in your life with a romantic partner, like more waking hours at your actual job than you would with them. So you're going to be fairly picky about who's going to be your romantic partner. Would you not be as picky about the job that you do?
Isn't that really good advice, actually?
It's the best advice I ever got.
Right, we don't have to ask you that question later then.
But it just, and also to have his backing. Everyone else told me I was mad, Samantha.
Yeah.
People thought I'd had it to turn around and go, no, actually I don't want to be a barrister, I'm going to be a midwife.
And they were like, what?
I'm going to give up my life in Dublin, give up my apartment, give up my job, move back home with my dad.
I love it.
And I suppose that was kind of in my mid to late 20s. So as all of my friends' careers were taking off.
Yeah.
And as they were starting to earn money, I was back living at home with dad.
Right, yeah.
As a poor lowly student. And that was humbling, but in a really good way. I worked incredibly hard. I got the President's Award for Academic Excellence.
Well done.
I loved what I just became so passionate about women's healthcare. And also, you know, people were quite suspicious of me when people kind of found out my background. They were like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
And I found that very interesting, that you can have reverse begrudgery if you have made a huge career shift. Yeah. People are kind of like, well, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I always say that your work speaks volumes for you. So if you work hard and are passionate about something, eventually that wins people over. And if it doesn't, they're not people that you should matter with.
That's true. Actually, do you know what? It's really interesting because I have, there's one of our Women's Inspire members, Kirsten, she's actually speaking at our conference. Like, she talks about doing life differently. And a lot of her clients have actually done that whole switch. And they get the same. They'd be like, are you mad? They're having some kind of midlife crisis, or, you know, they kind of get judged a lot for doing things differently. So, but I think if anyone decides to do things differently, like what you've done, it actually takes a lot of courage and a lot of self-belief to actually just keep doing it and do, like, so I don't think it's going to stop us because we have that.
No, and I think that's the thing, when you have an inner drive within you, that you know that you've got a message to share.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone gets knocks, but I think those knocks just make you more determined.
Yeah.
And also more focused on your own message.
Yes.
And I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to just be me and share my message. And I think that wins over more than anything. I think people feel very uncomfortable when they meet people that have made huge career changes, because there's a lot of people that would love to do it.
I think so.
But they're afraid.
Yes. That's it, fear.
So
I
fear,
agree.
you know, fear breeds, you know, people can be quite, I suppose, negative towards other people, because for them that would be the scariest thing in the world.
Okay, so let's say there is someone watching the show, right? And they do feel that there's something else they should be doing. They're not really sure and they're afraid to take that next step. What advice would you give them?
Take the step. Like, take it. You will never regret the stuff that you've done, even if it doesn't work out. And we have all suffered failure, and we will all suffer failure. And failure is they're just lessons in another guise. But take the step. If there's something that you feel passionate about, if there's something that you want to do, then just take the first step toward it. You don't want to end up, you know, I still want to work until I'm 90. My dad is still working very happily, and he's about to turn 73. But it has to be something that you're driven about, that you enjoy. Yeah. I think it would be mind-numbing to spend 20 or 30 years at something that you're not really involved in. So if there is something in you, if you have a great idea, get it out there. Yeah. You know, talk to people, ask people's opinion on it. And if you really want to do something, you will make it happen. There are no obstacles, there are only bumps in the road. I agree totally. And it takes a lot of courage, obviously, but you know, someone could be a little bit afraid, and maybe surround yourself with people who have done it, and maybe follow the likes of Avril, who's actually made the step. You know, follow her and follow her journey, follow her on social media, and just, you know, maybe when you start looking at these other people, it will inspire you to take that step. But Samantha, that's what's incredible about the Women's Inspire Network. It is the most, and I mean, that would be the first step that I would advise anyone. Genuinely, since I joined only in the last couple of months, I have never met a group of such like-minded women building each other up, giving each other real advice. Yes. There's space for everybody's success. We all congratulate each other's successes, and we're all always there for each other when certain things don't work out. Yes. It's such a great sounding board for ideas, and it's so positive.
Thank you.
And I think that's incredible, and the work that is in connecting like-minded people is invaluable. You can't buy that. Yes. It really is invaluable, and it gives you the confidence to go, actually, this is a good idea.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. I didn't pay her to say that, by the way.
It really is. It really is true. And as many people to know about it.
Great.
Because I think that's what can hold you back.
Yes, it's
You know,
the fear of maybe not being on your own as well with this
Totally.
idea and thinking, oh geez, I must be mad and there must be something wrong with me if I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking like that. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, I mean, I always thought that I kind of was the odd one out, and I definitely think differently to other people. But like, there is a quote that I love, which is, why spend your whole life trying to fit in when you were born to stand out? So
I
that's,
love that.
I know, it's great, isn't it? So I just say that. But like, okay, so for anyone that is pregnant or expecting a baby, or their daughter is, or their son is, or that might be watching the show, not their son is, but yes, the dads get involved as well, don't they? But you know, is there any way, like how do you work with people, and why are you so different? Like, what's your unique selling point?
So I work with people right from the beginning of their pregnancy, and I can support them right to after they've had the baby. What's different about me is that all of my packages are totally individualized, and they're actually delivered in the client's home
Great.
at a time and space that suits them. We're all busy.
Yes.
Most, you know, single parents or couples, one or both work.
Yeah.
So they don't have time to attend, you know, a 30-person class where they're
Yes.
feel nervous and embarrassed to ask particular questions,
Yes.
and where there's kind of enough information to cover everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but it actually, there might only be 20% of it that's applicable to you.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
believe strongly that no matter what your birth decision is, if you're supported in the right way, you can have a really positive birth experience. And a positive birth experience and pregnancy experience enables you to have a positive early parenting experience. And I can help whatever that is, whatever you vision to be your birth experience, I will support you, give you the right evidence-based information, but support you on your journey. And I'm always there.
That's
So,
nice, you see.
yeah.
I think that contact with you,
Totally.
being able to message you or maybe have a call with you when you're worried about something, or, you know, I feel that support, again, support is huge in everything, but I feel with you as well, you have that genuine, that integrity, the genuine kindness, and the genuine interest and passion for your clients. And what's the biggest fear that you come across when people come to you?
I think people are afraid to ask the questions that
Right.
they really want answered. And
Okay.
in a group environment, you know, if I'm in labour, how much will it hurt?
Yes.
You know, it's questions like that. Or if somebody wants, you know, if they actually want to have an elective cesarean section, a lot of people, that's not a popular opinion. A lot of people don't know how to access that sort of information. Whereas my care is totally non-judgmental.
Right.
It's not the birth that I think you should have. It's the birth that I want you to have.
Yes, okay,
So
great.
it's, and I've worked as a fertility nurse. I've had lots of experience in working in private midwifery context and in public hospitals. So I'm able to draw on all of those strands to give you the experience and the package that makes you happy with your pregnancy and planning your birth experience.
Okay, I have one question
Go
that I'm
for
going
it.
to throw at you.
Go for
now,
it.
because it's 13 years since I had a baby, but I always remember the one question I wanted to
Yeah.
ask was, should he watch the birth?
Well, that's
one that I always want, and I was
is.
afraid to ask it because I didn't want him to think I was unsexy afterwards.
Of course
and I still
not.
wanted him to want
And
me
that,
afterwards.
And that intimacy
So-
is such a real thing, but it's almost, there's an expectation now that dads, you know, or male partners need to be
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Whereas they don't, is the question. It's what are you comfortable with?
Right.
But I actually find that if you incorporate whoever the birth partner is, you know, sometimes you'd be better off having your mum or your sister in there. But it's about opening up that conversation and allowing people to ask those questions and going, okay, but what do you want? Do you want them there?
Great, yeah.
So if they are going to be there, that they're there to help and
Yes.
assist you both having a great experience. And that you can do very simple things like have particular anchors or particular things that you've practiced so that the dad feels very useful.
Yes.
You feel very comfortable with them being there and they don't have to look anywhere there.
Right. Yeah,
Very
great.
simple. But if you
Great.
I suppose, empower people with that information and allow them to have that conversation.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just the conversation has to be had.
Go, I'm really worried that you're not going to find me sexy.
And I wouldn't ask that question in a big class. I wouldn't.
How could you? Like, we're bad enough.
But I could say, Avril, you just have a chat there with him.
And I also do a antenatal class, so I do a male-only partner class.
Oh, good.
So particularly if male partners want to ask questions, they don't want to ask them in front of. So to also open up that conversation.
Brilliant.
So as I said, it's all individualised to what the particular client needs.
I'm actually laughing because our cameraman Connor is listening very intently here to this conversation, and Connor's learned so much from us filming these shows, haven't you, Connor?
I'm sure.
So thank you so much. That's what people want to know that might be watching, you know.
Totally.
So that's great. So if anyone wants to contact you, it's avrilflynn.com.
Yeah, and my email is on there. I'm also on Twitter as Avril the Midwife.
She's on Twitter now.
I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook, and I love to get questions. And also, it's very important to say, is obviously I have a business and I have a product to sell, but I love getting questions. And you know, I always say, come and chat to me. Let's have a Skype. Let's have a talk.
Yep.
Let's see if that we can work together.
Yes.
Before you kind of commit to buying a package. I think that's really important. I believe strongly in my product, which is myself.
Yes, you are.
And I know that if somebody actually does talk to me, they would love to talk more and hopefully buy a package. But my support and my passion for empowering people through pregnancy and birth is just that. I want to share my message and talk to people. So give us a call at any stage.
Lovely, lovely stuff. And before we finish up though, we always have these little questions we ask all our guests. So you told us the best piece of advice that you were ever given, you felt. So the other thing is, what kind of advice can you give to someone who's watching that might be thinking of starting a business in any area, but just sitting there thinking, I would like to start a business, but I'm a little bit afraid. So what advice?
First thing is, write your idea down. So you can have an idea in your head, but actually when you formulate it and see it written, you know, you can either, I mean, I don't know how different people work in different ways, but brainstorm, write down a list. I also think we've spoken about this before, visioning something. So you don't have to know how you're going to get there, but if you have particular goals and aspirations for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, write them down. Nothing is too big or too small.
I agree.
And then you can make sense. But also, don't ask kind of friends and family. Either join the Women's Inspire Network, or join Women in Business, or join an entrepreneur association, or bounce off people who have been there.
Exactly. People who are doing it at the moment even.
Exactly.
And people you admire. I find people who are very successful, I find are really, really approachable, are open to sharing their knowledge.
Totally, because they're passionate, but they've also been through many
and they've
pitfalls.
been there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And people have helped me, like from now starting out, just sitting having a coffee with me even helped me. But I agree about the ideas. Buy a little notebook. Ask people for Christmas a present of a nice notebook that you can write your ideas down. Have it beside your bed, okay? Because I wake up in the middle of the night with ideas, and sometimes I can't. I said I must write that down. Now I know we all use our phones, but it is nice to have it in the notebook. And then also a vision board. So what I did was I cut out pictures from magazines of what I wanted, and I just put them up. Like I have a car, I have a really slim lady, Nike girl. I have, like, you know, mountains.
That's you already. You're there. You visioned it and made it happen.
I have $1 million bill that someone gave me, and that's up there as well, and the Late Late Show as well. So someday. So final question, Avril, what is your favourite quote?
Well, this is kind of an odd one, me being from Dundalk, but actually I'm a big fan of the Queen and and what she stands for. I think she is brilliant, and to be still working that hard in your 90s is incredible. But it's attributed to her, and it's used in Downton Abbey as well, but it's never complain and never explain. And I use that in the context of let your work speak for itself. You know, it can be a lot of negativity around stuff. I just don't get involved in it.
Me too.
I let my work and my passion speak for itself. And how I don't have to explain my work explains itself. And I think that for anybody in business, if your idea is good, and if your passion is sincere, and if you're authentic, people will see that.
They do see it. They do, and even online or anything, they know by you. Like if you're an idiot online, you're going to be an idiot offline as well.
Absolutely. And why are people surprised then?
I don't know.
So yeah.
So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Avril.
Thank you for having me and for this opportunity.
Oh,
I'm delighted.
You're
Thank you
so
much.
welcome, and look forward to seeing more of you on the screen and more of you on the stage and stuff like that. So thank you so much, Avril Flynn, for joining us. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you do want to join the Women's Inspire Network, go to women'sinspirenetwork.com. We'd love to see you and support you on your business journey. Thank you for watching.